welcome back to my channel. I hope that you guys like the fireplace setup in the back. I really tried to make this video cozy because today we are gonna talk. I'm gonna tell you guys a story time of how my kneecap went out like this to the side. So basically, like, imagine like your knee is here, right? Imagine it being like on the side. So starting off, how did I even get in a situation where my kneecap could like go out of place? Well, let me tell you that I did cheerleading for about a year now, and I was like through a big competition in the summer. So like, you know, I already did that, and I was a flyer, and we had to do a lot of training, like a lot of like stretching where you hold your feet up and you were just like stretching and all of that. Back then I didn't know that that was not good for my knee, but it wasn't, spoiler alert. But we just came back from vacation. We had just like a 2-week fall break, and I came back to cheerleading. First thing that happened, I got separated from my team. I went into another team, and I was so sad because my team was honestly so amazing and so perfect. Those people in my team, I honestly really miss them, and I hope that they are doing great. But anyway, I got separated from them. Then I realized that, oh, I'm not a flyer anymore, because a lot of like shorter girls came into our team, and like that was the thing with the team that I was in the very basic beginners group. People would come in every time, and it was so annoying because like that old group that I have, which I trained with for over a year now, I just got separated from them, went into a completely new group with like new flyers and everything, and I was a lifter right now, or I don't know how you call that in English. And then I just remember we were stretching and I really wanted to go home. I was like, I really want to quit. I was actually like really thinking about quitting hard then, because like what was the point of me going? I didn't like it like this anymore. And then we were just like stretching very normal, like we didn't start doing like anything crazy. There was like a big, like, how do you call that? I'm just gonna use this as an example. So it was like a big mat that you put your feet up on. It was like around like this high, okay? And you just put your feet up on it and you go into a split. And before we went into a split, I was like, girls, this is pretty high. I was like, I'm just gonna put my feet on it and test how high it is. So I just put my feet up on it. I put this feet up on it, put it up like this. I take my feet off sideways, right? That's an important information. So as I'm taking my feet off sideways, I realize while I'm taking my feet off sideways, my knee also goes sideways, and all I see is my knee on the side. And then I start screaming, and back then I didn't know a lot of German, so I was just like screaming. I was like, my knee, because that's all I could say. And obviously the teachers were like really chill, like they didn't think anything of it, because like what would happen, we're literally stretching, warming up, like this is not a place where people normally injure themselves, you know? And then, you know, she was like very chill, like nothing in her face, and she looks at my knee and she goes, she's like, that was her face. She was like, and I was like, what is happening right now? Like, I was serious, just like, what is going on? I felt like the main character in that moment. I'm gonna be honest, I was just like, well, I always dreamed of like breaking my feet or something, so my inner child was just like, yes, like finally. I was so weird, I'm sorry, but that's just what I was going through my head. But I was not happy because it was so incredibly painful, guys. I cannot tell you. Anyway, when I see the teacher's reaction, I think that's something that I'm never gonna forget. It's like her walking up to me super chill, and then she looks at my knee and she was like, and then she calls the other teacher immediately, and she was like, we have to call the ambulance. And I'm just sitting there just like, great, like what is going on? And then the other teacher walks up to me and she tries to, you know, change my mind, like, oh, like tell me, what did you do on vacation? And I was just like, are you seriously wanting me to talk right now? Like this is so painful. It was so incredibly painful, guys, that I couldn't even cry. The worst part is, okay, let me tell you this. So my knee is out, okay, and we're waiting for the ambulance, and then they tell me you need to call your parents. And I'm just like freaking out. I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna call my parents, but they tell me you can't make a reaction. You have to be like very like quiet, like, hey, like something happened, can you please come here right now to training and pick me up, like something is wrong, like, you know, blah 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 blah. Because obviously we didn't know what was wrong, because when your kneecap comes out, you can actually also break one of the muscles in your knee. So it's like very complicated. We didn't know anything back then. We just knew that my knee was out. It looked so incredibly horrible, and I told the lady, I was like, can you please just put something on my knee, because I'm literally gonna throw up. I was like, okay, they covered it, whatever, and I needed support. So the whole time the teacher was like holding my knee, because I was like, it hurts so bad, like you have to hold it here underneath. So just like holding it here underneath, and I had to call my parents, and I was just like,
hey mom, like, hey dad, can you just please come to training, like I kinda enjoy scared myself.
I was like having to act very calmly because, you know, if I overreact and I'm just like my knee came out, like what is going on, then my parents are gonna stress and then maybe they're gonna have an accident on the road, you know? Obviously, like it could be dangerous for my parents, so my parents were just like,
oh, okay, like, yeah, we'll be there in like 15 minutes.
that was the worst time, guys. Waiting there 15 minutes on the ground, and everybody else that was around me, like all of my teammates, had to like leave. Like I was literally in the center of the mat. So when you do cheerleading, like you do it on a mat, and basically I was on the center and I couldn't move. The teacher trying to calm me down and trying to say like, oh, like talk to me, but I was in so much pain. I was just like, I can't talk, like I'm in so much pain, like I need the ambulance to get here like ASAP, like I am not well, I am not okay. 20 minutes later, the ambulance gets there, and then 5 minutes later, my parents also get there, and my dad sees my leg and he's just like, what the? Like I thought this was something small, like, and they see the ambulance and they were like so surprised because like they didn't know that there was such a big problem, because on the phone I was just like, hey, yeah, you know, all good, just a little injury. They had to somehow lift me from the ground up to the place where they put you, and then they can like, you know, take you to the ambulance. They literally had to like drug me. Like I don't know what they did, but like it wasn't medication, it was like a gas mask that you like put in and you had to like inhale it. So they kind of like drugged me so that I don't feel the pain when they lift me up. Guys, that was the weirdest experience of my life. Like I'm serious, like, you know, in movies this is literally the exact situation. Like, you know, when somebody like comes out of a coma and then they like hear like voices from far and they're just like hello, and like you see all blurry, like that's exactly how it feels like to inhale this mask. And I didn't want to inhale this mask because it was such a bad feeling, just like feel like you're zoning out basically. I felt them like be like 3, 2, 1, and I knew that pain was about to come, and then they lift me up. Like I felt it, like it was painful, but I was so like unconscious that I didn't feel it, if that makes sense. And then it took like about like 15 minutes for me to get back to normal, and I was to my parents like, okay, take a picture of me. So yeah, here's the picture inserted of when I was there. I honestly look happy, but I was not. I was in so much pain, but I was so happy that I finally went on that trolley and was on the way to the ambulance. But then I was so incredibly scared because I didn't know how the heck they're gonna put my knee back into place. So on the way to the ambulance, I was just like feeling very positive, you know. I was just like, this is great, this is good. There was a woman that was, you know, obviously working there, and then my dad came with me because my mom, on the other hand, she was getting sick, guys. She couldn't handle it. My mom can't handle stressful situations. On the way to the ambulance, I'm just like so stressed, like I'm so incredibly stressed, and the pain is really bad. I was just like praying. I was like, God, please, like I don't know why this happened. I'm a Christian, I'm a believer in Jesus Christ. I don't know if you guys know that about me, but that's just like an information to add here. And on that way I was like, please God, like please, like just put my knee back into place. Like I don't know what to do, I don't know why this happened. And like 2 minutes later, I feel my knee like just like pop back into place, and the pain just stops. Like that's honestly all I feel. And I look at the woman in the ambulance and I'm just like, I think my knee went back into place. She was like, yeah, like that can't happen, but like when we get there we'll check. Okay, we get there, take the thing off, my knee is back in place. I'm just like, how good is God? Hello, like praise the Lord. Like I didn't have to get my knee put back into place. I have no idea how they would have done it, and I don't even want to know, but thank God my knee came back into place before even entering the hospital. Then we entered the hospital, they did a lot of x-rays and exams and everything was fine, but I did have to get a cast for like, I don't even know how long I had it. For like 6 weeks I had to have like, not a cast, but you know that like knee protector thing, and then I had to get like crutches and everything. So that was fun. Honestly, that was the best part, like, you know, when the pain stopped and I was just like, wait, like I just like had this injury and now everybody in school is gonna look at me. Okay, that sounds so cringe, but honestly, like when I was little I always wanted my leg to break or something. I'm just like, well, better later than never, you know. And I know this is not a huge injury, but still, like with your knee you do so many things, and it was so hard to relearn how to walk, everything. But I don't know, I just thought I would share this experience. I'm so grateful and I thank God so much that I didn't have a bigger problem, but it was still very hard. And I discovered that this can happen again because my knees are just like very much like, they're not strong and they move a lot. So this can happen again, and these exercises that I was doing was actually really bad for it because they were stretching them out even more. So I have to like strengthen my knee muscles, then my knee cap doesn't move that much, if that makes sense. But anyway, that was the story. I don't know if you guys liked it or no. I never did such a video like this before, but I just thought it was a very interesting story. And it's crazy, like the testimony in this again is how I prayed to God, and like the second I prayed, like 2 minutes after, my kneecap was back into place. And you can say, well, it's natural, it happens, but I believe that God helped me there, and it's something so beautiful, and I thought that I would share this, and I hope that this story inspired you. I don't know, you just know what it feels like to have your kneecap out. It's a really bad feeling. Whatever. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope you have an amazing and blessed day. Thank you so much for coming along with me. Don't forget to smile, and don't forget that Jesus loves you guys. Bye!